Welcome to my channel, States of History. Today, I'm about to take you into a world that exists behind locked doors, beyond classified hallways, and beneath the surface of everyday life. A world where one mistake can change the fate of nations, and one hidden identity can alter the course of a man's life forever. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let this story pull you into its shadows. He first saw her in the lobby of the Helios Research Complex, a facility so classified that most of the world didn't even know it existed. The building looked ordinary from the outside, a stack of mirrored glass panels reflecting the sky. But beneath it lay 7 levels of underground laboratories, intelligence suites, and weapons systems so advanced that even speaking about them out loud could land a person in prison. Alec Hayes, former military officer turned security specialist, had worked here for 4 years. He'd seen ambassadors, scientists, generals, and even the occasional foreign dignitary trying to walk these halls. He thought he'd seen everything. Until today. She stood at the front desk, her dark hair pulled back, her coat still dusted with snow, holding an ID badge that looked wrong. Not fake, just strange, outdated, worn, almost too simple. Her eyes were calm, quietly determined, the kind of eyes that had seen far more than she ever said. She looked young, mid-20s, maybe, but there was something in her expression that felt older than the building itself. "Miss," Alex said, stepping forward, "this is a restricted facility. You can't be here without an escort or an appointment." "I'm here to see Director Rowan," she said softly. Alex's brows rose. Nobody saw Director Rowan without months of clearance checks. Nobody even spoke his name out loud here. "And your name is?" Alec asked. "Leora. Just Leora." Alec had been trained not to show emotion on the job, but he couldn't hide the flicker of skepticism. "All right, Leora," he said in his calmest professional tone, "I'm going to need you to step aside while we verify your clearance." She nodded once. No irritation, no fear. The strange badge hung from her fingers, glinting under the fluorescent lights. The front desk technician scanned it, and frowned. "No record?" Alec asked. "None," the tech whispered. "It's not invalid. It's archived, like it's from a system we don't use anymore." Alec exhaled slowly. That meant fake, or at best, outdated from an entirely different department. Either way, she had no business here. "All right," he said gently, placing a hand toward her elbow. "I'm going to escort you outside while we sort this out. It won't take long." She said nothing, just let him guide her toward the reinforced glass doors leading out to the snow. But as they passed the central hallway, something happened that froze Alec in place. They walked by Level-7 security door, a door he had never seen open. He didn't even have the clearance to breathe near it. The door scanned the corridor automatically. Then, beep. Identity recognized. Clearance. Omega-7. Opening secure door. Alec's throat tightened. "What the?" The door slid open with a deep, mechanical groan, the hydraulics hissing like some ancient creature waking up. Inside the room, red security lights flickered on, illuminating a long hallway descending deep below the surface. Nobody was supposed to go in there. Nobody had gone in since the day the facility was built. He stepped back, stunned. Leora didn't even look surprised. Alec stared at her. "Who are you?" For the first time, she looked up at him fully. No fear, no hesitation. "I'm someone this place forgot." And then she walked through the Level-7 door as if she'd lived here her entire life. Alec's instincts roared inside him. Every protocol screamed for him to hit the alarm. To stop her. To call the director. To draw his weapon. But something else, something deeper, held him still. Maybe it was the way she moved, not like an intruder, but like someone returning to a place that had once been home. He stepped after her. The moment he crossed the threshold, the door sealed behind him, locking them inside. He tapped his radio. No signal. They were cut off. Leora walked ahead, her footsteps echoing softly on the metallic floor. Alec quickened his pace. "You need to stop. Level-7 is forbidden. Not even senior military has this clearance." She finally paused. "There was a time," she said quietly, "when I did." "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath. "My clearance was erased when I died." Alec froze. He didn't know what to say. Was she delusional, dangerous, or telling the truth? "What exactly is this place?" he asked. She looked down the long corridor, where dim lights revealed steel doors, one after another. "It's where the government hid the things it wasn't ready to face. Projects that weren't failures, just too powerful, too unpredictable, too human." Alec swallowed hard. You worked here. I was born here. His pulse hammered. Born. She turned toward him, and there was a raw sadness in her eyes that made his breath hitch. My mother was part of the Omega program. A biological enhancement trial. She didn't survive the process. I was the result. Alec felt the blood drain from his face. Leora continued, her voice steady but full of buried grief. They trained me for years. They called me Acid 01. They said I was made to protect this country, but they never let me live in it. When I was 16, there was an accident. A containment breach. They declared me dead and sealed this level forever. Her hands trembled slightly. They left me. Alec felt a weight settle on his chest. He stepped closer, softer now. And why come back? She lifted her badge, the old, worn plastic that suddenly made perfect sense. Because my identity didn't activate the door, Alec. Her voice cracked for the first time. My mother's did. Alec's breath caught. The badge wasn't hers, it was her mother's. Before he could respond, the hallway lights flared red. Motion detected. Containment breach in Sector 7A. A low, vibrating growl echoed in the distance. Alec's stomach twisted. What's down here, Leora? She closed her eyes, tears gathering. The thing that killed my mother. They moved quickly. Alec took point without thinking, training kicking in, while Leora guided him through the labyrinth of cold steel and flickering lights. She tried to stop it, Leora whispered. She locked herself inside with the creature so I could escape. I've spent 10 years trying to track down this facility to finish what she started. Alec looked at her, heart aching. You don't have to do this alone. She met his gaze, and for the first time, she looked afraid. I've always been alone. The hallway shook with a thunderous slam. The creature was close, massive, heavy footsteps scraping across metal. Alec raised his weapon. Stay behind me. But Leora stepped forward. No, this ends with me. The corridor ahead split into a wide chamber. Broken glass, bent metal, a shredded lab coat stained a dark, rusty red. Memories flickered across her face like ghosts. The creature lurked in the shadows, huge, disfigured, twisted by a failed experiment. Not a monster by nature but a creation of desperation and science gone wrong. It roared, eyes locking on Leora. And she whispered, I'm not running anymore. The creature lunged. Alec fired. Leora moved faster, inhumanly fast, the air whipping around her as she sprinted toward the beast. She grabbed its arm, spun, and slammed it into the wall. But the creature wasn't alone. Another roar split the air. A second creature emerged. Alec's blood ran cold. He fired again, bullets sparking off reinforced bone. Leora fought brutally, gracefully, but she was outnumbered. Alec, she shouted. Behind you. He turned too late. The creature slammed him across the room. His vision blurred. Pain shot through his ribs. Leora screamed his name. He forced himself up, barely. His weapon skidded across the floor, out of reach. The creature loomed over him. Then, Leora stood between them, her body shaking, arms spread wide. No, the creature stopped. She whispered, voice trembling. You killed my mother, but you won't take anyone else. For a moment, an impossible moment, the creature hesitated, as if recognizing her. Then Alec saw it, the markings on its arm. Omega 02. This thing wasn't just her mother's killer. It was her brother. Leora's voice broke. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. The creature roared, not in rage, but agony. Pain. Recognition. Leora stepped closer, hand trembling toward its mangled face. You're free now. The creature lowered its head. And Alec watched, stunned, as Leora pressed her forehead against it, tears streaming down her cheeks. Seconds later, alarms blared. Facility lockdown. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Alec rushed to her. We have to go. She turned to him, eyes red, voice shaking. I can't. If I leave, the others will escape. Alec grabbed her shoulders. We'll stop them together. You don't understand, she whispered. I'm the only one who can control them. Her badge glowed faintly, reacting to the facility. Alec felt something break inside him. You don't have to die here. She gave him a soft, heartbreaking smile. For the first time, someone said that to me, but my life already ended 10 years ago. She turned away, but Alec grabbed her hand. Leora. She leaned in and pressed her forehead to his. Thank you, for seeing me. Then she pushed him back toward the exit as the chamber filled with blinding white light. Run, Alec. He stumbled up the hallway, the doors slamming shut behind him one by one as she sealed him out of Level-7. He pounded on the last door, screaming her name. But the light swallowed everything. The ground shook. The room shook, and then, silence. The next morning, Alec stood outside the ruins of the Helios facility, the winter sun pale against the snow. Director Rowan approached him quietly. "She saved us," Alec said, voice hoarse. Rowan rested a hand on his shoulder. "She saved the world." Alec looked at the rubble, eyes burning. She deserved more than this. And for a moment, a faint glimmer flickered in the snow. A badge, old, worn, lying by his boots. He picked it up, holding it to his chest. A promise, a memory, a ghost of a girl who had never been allowed to live, but who saved countless lives anyway. He whispered her name to the cold wind. "Leora, thank you for watching this emotional and cinematic journey on States of History. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps these stories alive, and more powerful tales are on the way. Until next time, stay brave, stay curious, and stay human."